Wagner PMC has been attacking Bakhmut since July 2022. Despite repeated claims to capture the city, the Russian mercenaries never made much progress. Last summer, the head of PMC, Prigozhyn, promised to capture Bakhmut in a short time, but the armed forces of Ukraine hold the defense.
They are already running out of stormtroopers. They are trying to persuade the Ukrainian army to leave Bakhmut so that we stop defending the city, and thus to take the city with little bloodshed. But they have already killed so many people that a catastrophe for the Wagner PMC and the Russian army is simply inevitable.
Trying to capture the Ukrainian Bakhmut, Wagner private military company suffers significant losses. The number of killed and wounded has already reached 30,000 people. Earlier, PMC Wagner compensated for its losses in Russian prisons, but Prigozhyn lost this opportunity due to disagreements with the Russian Defense Ministry. Now he directs efforts to recruit ordinary Russians, according to British intelligence.
Since the start of March 2023, Wagner has set up outreach teams based in sports centers in at least 40 locations across Russia. In recent days, masked Wagner recruiters also gave career talks in Moscow high schools, distributing questionnaires entitled "Application of a Young Warrior" to collect the contact details of interested pupils, from a report of British intelligence on Twitter.
Experts at the American Institute for the Study of War suggest that Russian Defense Minister Shoigu and Chief of the General Staff of Russia Gerasimov seized the opportunity and are deliberately depleting Wagner PMC forces at Bakhmut. The goal is to weaken Prigozhyn's influence and undermine his ambitions for authority in the Kremlin.
The conflict between the Russian Ministry of Defense and Wagner shows that different parties in Putin's inner circle are competing with one another in potentially zero-sum games that do not further Putin's overall objectives. The Russian Ministry of Defense is currently prioritizing eliminating Wagner on the battlefields in Bakhmut, which is likely slowing down the rate of advance in the area, from the weekly report of the American Institute for the Study of War.
According to CNN, PMC Wagner being in Bakhmut receives the least support from the regular troops of the Russian Federation. Prigozhyn himself constantly complains about the lack of ammunition. According to Russian political analyst Ivan Preobrazhensky, the Kremlin is thus gradually handing Prigozhyn over to its competitors, Shoigu and Gerasimov.
Очевидно, что Путин оставил его, что называется, на съедение генерала.
Obviously, Putin left Prigozhyn to be eaten by the generals, Russian generals and many others, in fact, whom Prigozhyn managed to offend, have a grudge against him. And most likely, they will remove him completely, if possible, from the Russian political and near-political space. He has gained too much power during the war. He obviously saw it as a great opportunity to increase his influence and get access to the distribution of cash flows within Russia itself.
The political scientist does not rule out that Prigozhyn can not only be completely removed from politics, but also physically liquidated. But above all, he could be blamed for Russia's military failures.
Prigozhyn является удобной мишенью, на которого
Prigozhyn is a convenient target on which is possible to hand the main failures on the Eastern Front, the failures of the Russian occupying forces, because we see that neither last month nor last week Bakhmut was taken, although Wagner PMC was given much more resources than the regular Russian military, not to mention the usual conscripts.
Amid this, Prigozhyn himself is trying to create an information field in which allegedly Russian troops will have to war for a very long time without him and his PMC mercenaries. But political scientists still call Prigozhyn a charged-off pilot for the Kremlin. It's just a matter of time. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Natalia Gusak, Volodymyr Shtanhelov, UATV News.